And hello again, boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel. It's of course your host Marley Startled, and today we're going to be playing a bit of Hoi 4 single player. Now I did try and get a recording of Hoi 4 multiplayer on last night, but I couldn't find any games. Maybe people are just not thinking about playing Hoi 4 right now because of the upcoming update. Maybe because I just couldn't find any lobbies, or just simply because I didn't wait for hours on end staring at the screen waiting to have some fun. But in any case, we'll be playing some single player now. While we say goodbye to the Italy focus tree, so as you know, with a new expansion coming out, I believe Blood and Iron, we're going to see the removal of the existing Italian focus tree, along with a new Swiss focus tree and a new Ethiopian focus tree, along with, of course, with the Air Designer. So we'll say goodbye to Italy before we see that new expansion come out. I played some this morning, so I wanted to see how it went. It went pretty well until Germany basically gave up and the Allied air came in knocking. But in any case, we'll begin as Italy. Italy's a very fun nation, especially in single player, because of course you don't have to worry so much about the navy, but in multiplayer of course it can be very difficult trying to build a navy and naval bombers and so on. But as a single player game, it's a pretty fun romp, allowing you to do a lot of things, being rather versatile. Now, back in the day when you had, like, say, Garrison Italy or Fortress Italy, that was also pretty fun, but alas, that is now gone. So what are we going to be doing? The first thing we'll be doing is construction. We're going to research our paratroopers, and of course we're going to research our air. From there we're going to also take a look around and see what we want to do next. So of course, with our air research, we can now focus on, I suspect, upgrading our tanks, because we're going to have some tanks in our units. There's not a lot of good ones because good tanks are expensive. So we're going to go with, of course, the historical Italian route of poo-poo tanks. At the same time, we can also invest in civilian train, which really should be one of the default ones, and not this bad boy. We don't need AA for this. So we've got naval bombers we need to research. We've got guns I'm happy with. 3 of those will be fine. 3 of those will be fine. 3 of those will be fine. But because our fighters are still pretty pants at the moment, there's no point making fighters at this stage. So why are we putting so much into our naval bombers? Because that's the one good thing we can actually produce that is good. Alas, we're not going to be building with resources, because building with resources is expensive. And so instead, we're going to be building with no resources until such a time when it becomes of value to us. Same with the Fiat. The Fiat's being done. We'll upgrade the Fiat so it's at the top, and then of course we will build and do our preparations for Ethiopia. Of course, there are many strats to Ethiopia, none I particularly like or enjoy, apart from the end it quickly strategy. So that is what we're going to do, end it as quickly as possible by the good old-fashioned noob macro. Equally, we're not going to be investing in our rubber just yet, because we are wanting to really wait until 1939 before we start investing in our rubber. So I wonder how the new focus tree will impact the Ethiopia campaign. Hopefully it's a bit longer and a bit more difficult than what this is. But I can't wait to actually play Ethiopia and see what it's like. It's a pretty easy win. We've got the air and so on, so we're going to sit here and grind away while not really doing a lot. Get that Ethiopian war logistics, not really for anything other than just trying to rush down to get more civs. And our first set of points will be for us to go to war economy. Okay, with this done, we can now research our next 1936 improved engine to get up to that sort of 12-kilometer range, which we want to have faster motorized units for Africa. For me, I sometimes make the mistake where I over-focus on civs. I'm a bit of a civ greeder, and so I spend a lot of my campaigns sometimes overbuilding in civs when I should actually be building in other things. So our war economy, we've now got 15 civs. We'll go free trade next, and then from there, hopefully, be able to keep an advance. I may not even send an attaché to Spain simply because it may end too quickly. I have other things to do, other agendas to make. Wow, that was a fast research for everything. So we're done, we can now hard research our next full gore. Hard research our paratroopers. Probably want to research logistics companies for future reference, and then of course start researching an industry lot. So in this attack away, it should be a pretty done deal at this stage. Got an industrial effort. Get that extra research slot. And see if I can turn this to high performance rather than what it's currently on. I was already on high performance, but a slightly longer war than I want, but hey, a grind's a grind regardless. I like how you can just grind doing this. Of course, you want to be grinding over here for the Desert Fox, but we don't bother with that sort of stuff here. Cost me quite a few guns, this. Got an extra research slot. Oh, what should we research? Spares artillery. Free trade. And then our next focus, selling highways. To really start building up that civ bomb. Job done. Immediately puppet. End. And then these guys can all become garrison boys, whose sole purpose is the garrison. Sometimes it doesn't come up with the garrison port option or garrison coastline option, which is a bit frustrating, but hey ho. I think some of these we're going to turn. I need two of these to turn into Mountaineers. Should put under Giovanni to upgrade him. Again, I'm just not going to waste any of my resources on doing resources. Exactly. Not going to waste any resources on resources. Join the anti-combatant pact. Oh, there's a civil war kicked off. Send volunteers. Send air volunteers as well. And then where is our bombers? I suppose we'll send some tanks. Prospect for oil. Yeah, oil's always nice. Can't complain about oil. And our next PP will go into, of course, the Chinese War, Indo-Chinese War. Absolutely, welcome. I tried to find a multiplayer game for Yenzo, but there was just hours of waiting, so I couldn't be bothered to do it. I did try doing it Friday yesterday, but I think it was too late, or maybe I was too early. There's a couple of non-hists, but I don't know if people were still playing or just waiting for the new expansion. Morning, Dool. Morning. It's a beautiful day. Saturday. Beautiful day, Saturday. Let's improve relations. And then let's rush our fighter research. We'll do Libyan infrastructure, and then once this is done, we'll rush our fighter research. A lovely weekend. I think I've got cold arms tomorrow. Mm-hmm. No, I'm just maxing Civ Greed. Like, I'm going full Civ Greed. I want to end this war quickly. I want to end this bad boy quickly. Wonderful. See if I can get those Soviet troops. Now the AI is going to have a bit of a problem in North Africa. Germany likes to send like a North African force deep into Africa and then lose the war. So we are going to have to sort of carry Germany across the line in this. So Libyan infrastructure done, move back up, army primacy for those factories, and then we're going to hard research our fighters. Just grind away, I don't care how long the war goes on for. We got Indo-Chinese war yet? No. Cringe. Cringe. Hello, is that Cringe o'clock? Fine, attack over here. Attack wherever you want to attack, Giovanni. See, Giovanni's a weird one because he's got like the tank commander, but he's the best general in Italy. So on the one hand, you can't mold him very much, but on the other, he's actually pretty good. So you're sort of mixed about whether or not to use him. I tend to use him regardless. So research those air innovations. So I can hard research my Mackie C.202 full gore and get air superiority. Now the air superiority is only going to really work for the first couple of years of the war, so we've got to bear that in mind. So I did one with superior firepower area, which was really good. I am going to look at this and see what sort of abilities we will get with this sort of build. I think we'll go down the extra speed. I want army maneuver, you see, because I want to go be a very, very fast boy. I get pushed back, I did. I will not join your non-intervention committee. France, go away. Avanti! I do hope the new focus tree is good for Italy. I think Italy's a very fun nation to play. I'm just not very good at North Africa, so I very rarely play it, because I don't like Navy. So, with air innovations, we now do a research switch. Get that fighter 2 as soon as possible. And start cracking down the left part of the tree. More paratroopers is always better than a few paratroopers. I'm just going to take all the Ethiopian troops and send them north. Before I forget, we'll go with the light aircraft designer. There's not much of a challenge in single player Spain, unless of course you are playing Spain, but I found the solution to that problem, which was rush, basically. Rush until you get good spots. Now, we should be popping off in terms of civ count, which we are, because we've done nothing but build civs with no resources, which is a viable strat. A lot of people will see this and go, I must get resources, but you don't have to. If the equipment you've currently got is no value to you. So we have our basic light tank chassis. That's going to get an upgrade. So I can go 11.2 kilometers. Then we're going to keep the current armament. Actually, we're going to give it the automatic cannon because it's cheap. And we're going to give these guys the one-man turret because, again, it is very, very cheap. From there, we can give these guys sloped armor. And maybe a secondary machine gun. New update isn't out yet. New update is not out yet, so I'm still waiting for that bad boy to come out. So this is sort of the farewell to Italy until the new update's out. Then I'm going to play an Italy game, an Ethiopia game, Switzerland game, and so on. Finally, the content drought will end temporarily. Yeah, this is, what's the phrase? Straight bussin', I believe. Give me more factories. Damn. That's a lot of factories. But we haven't gone very far down our doctrines yet, which is a bit of a pain. Still, our units should be very fast with this build. Grind, please. Specialist forces. What does in fact give me? Airborne tech and for mountaineers, neither of which is particularly good. Because I do like paratroopers, but they're so, what do you call it, circumstantial to use. And then one of our research lots after this should be synthetics. We do need to research some synthetics. If I'm not careful, I'm going to end up running out of build slots. But this is, of course, taking into account that I won't be having a useful navy and have to rely on air. Anyway, claims in Yugoslavia. Synthetics for that rubber. Once the full gore is made, that's when we'll begin to sort of build up. Quite the quite the death stack. 4, 5, 6, yeah. There we are. So the full gore researched, we can now build it. So make sure our mechanized is high enough. Hi, hello. Got our transport planes being churned out. Starts cracking, not cracking the full gore just yet. Naval bombers can stay where they are around about this level, and everything else is pretty good. So let's begin doing our buy up. So this is now going to take up a hefty chunk of our civ count, but hey ho, it's the price one pays. Buy from Turkey. Hard research Centauro. Begin building our paratrooper units. So we need some pretty good paratroopers here. So we're going to go 20 whips on our paratroopers. Sadly, we can't put anything with them, otherwise I won't be able to drop out the planes, but not the end of the world. So we're going to go engineering company, support company, logistics company, and start churning these out as soon as these guys are finished. There we are. And now with our air doctrine, battlefield support, battlefield support, battlefield support. I'm going to do doctrines first before I hard research my... hard upgrade my air. I don't think we need any more civs, so we'll upgrade the airfield over here, upgrade the port over here in North Africa, and then we will begin milling up. Now, first paratrooper, we should be able to get 2 out by the start of the war, or by the time we get cold to war. Now we can look at how we build up our motorized infantry. So because it's single player, I don't have to worry about meta builds, so we're going to build a very fast, soft attack build with support artillery, logistics and engineers. We can of course build another light tank if we're feeling particularly civilized. Oh, 29. That should be fun. So I want 5 of these out for North Africa. And those 5 out, they should be cooking with fat. Build convoys. Again, the Navy is something I do not really have to worry about that much with this build. So really, it's the idea is elite sort of troops to punch through North Africa, but at the same time having lots of garrisons to sort of keep Europe afloat, keep the Germans afloat, which may not work depending on how how Germany wants to let the team down. Let's go with War Industrialist because we're now building up. I tend not to call Ethiopia to the war because this keeps on giving me its own troops, which is nice, but not really something I want. Bulgaria is now friends with me. Let's make friends with the Germans. My motorized tanks, really at 11 kilometers is what I wanted. I want fast boys for encirclement purposes. And now we're good to go. So why are we building this port up? Because it's the closest port to the front, and the idea is that we need to really just punch through in a circle. Lol, what is that division template? Okay, let's explain this bad boy. So we're going cheapies. Because of it being single player, Germany never makes enough air. And so what happens is Germany loses air superiority in like the first year of the war on single player, and then it just crashes in itself. So a lot of my industry is going to go into air. So that's why I'm hard researching the full gore and doctrines and so on. So once I've got my air up, I'm not going to have a lot of factories left over for anything else. And so that means a large proportion of my troops are going to be garbage garrisons, but I need a couple of cheapo all-rounders that are good encirclement. So if I get enough air superiority with CAS and fighters, the idea is that the paratroopers will land behind the enemy in North Africa. Then the transports and the air superiority will reinforce the paratroopers, while these guys punch through and encircle using now that 11 kilometers per hour speed. They've got 35 orc, which is very good. In fact, I could probably get rid of one of these and go instead with like one of these. No, that's not going to work. Remove. Let's go with another tonk. But we can't be like Germany. We can't have these really good tanks. We've got to have these cheapo tanks whose real purpose is just to increase hardness a little bit. So you can see here the production cost of this light tank, this historical Italian tank, is 6.16. It has no radio, it has the basic stuff, and its real purpose is just to be the extra bit of soft attack and maybe a little bit of breakthrough. It's not supposed to be it's supposed to be a motorized unit with a tank brigade, not the other way around. And of course, over time we'll upgrade it and make better tanks, but again, better cheapo tanks, not like better tanks. Because all of this is just going to be garrison garbage. It's not going to be anything. It's not going to be any good. Now we aren't going to join in 39 because I don't think Italy joined historically in 39. But we'll probably join around about the time France falls. I'm going to accept that this is probably the highest we're going to go at Derna. So this Derna is a... Oh, what is it? What sort of... How high is this port? I don't care about this. No Navy. Navy, no. It's a level 7 port. Happy with that. So I'm going to be pretty comfortable with that affair. And then I'm going to go Treaty of Germany because, I'm going to have to be the rub producer. Exactly. So in some multiplayer games, Wendy, what you can do is if you're, say, Spain or Hungary, depending if they make you air controller, you can go with motorized anti-tank. And because you've got that 12 kilometer speed, most tanks won't be that fast. All you have to do is stay behind the German armor or stay near the German armor. And when you start to see that you're winning the battle, you just join the battle and overrun the enemy tanks. Like, speed is so important, and you can just demolish entire front lines with speed. But of course it needs cooperation, and so you've got to factor that in as well. So we got our first paratrooper. We're going to start building up. Did I actually build up this airfield yet? Start moving our air over. So what air do I have? Let's merge this to see what air I actually have. So merge. Where's my where is it? Where's my naval bombers? 400 naval bombers, not the best, not the worst. I'll probably get more. It's only February 39, but you know how it is. Start churning these out. I don't need that many of those. I don't need that many tanks either. And because I've only got one factory on tanks, I am going to have to be cheap with my tanks. It's not going to be a fun experience for anyone. But again, I've got about a year before the war starts, so it's not too bad just yet. So while we've got our transport planes here for our paratroopers, then we're going to add our fighters here. Once we get enough fighters, we don't have a lot of CAS, but that's the nature of the beast. I would like to get more CAS, but I would also like to have more fighters. So what to reduce? Reduce this down to one factory. Reduce this down. That works. Good, give me synthetics. Hard research to fight. There's second paratrooper. I'm gonna have to dump another load of garbage troops in. So I need at least 2 paratroopers, which is a bit of a pain. But these troops are going to be used for garrisons anyway, so it's not like I'm wasting resources. So I'm doing a very, very late resource build for my rubber. But the idea is that I'll begin building rubber once the war starts and not after, or not before. And then I'll be the rubber boy for the AI. Should build that, but I haven't got enough slots because I've had to become El Productiono. So we got our first batch of tanks. These will go to North Africa. We need some good tanks, but we don't need a lot of them because the supply will demolish us over there. So we take this bad boy. I'm going to call it the Italian African Force. Or the IAF. Put the best guy in charge, and then put this guy here. I may potentially move this off, and then just take a handful of troops and make them garrison. So if I get you guys and make a new garrison unit out of you, garrison this, because I don't need this many troops in a single player North Africa. Good enough. Air combat training. Meticulous planning for extra logistics. Yeah, fuel is so important now, so that's why I'm rather careful with how many troops I put in North Africa. I don't just like dump it. I don't dump it. Whoa, why are you part of the gang? Sorry, Ethiopian soldier, but you not belong. In the gang. So I can get about 10 divisions of these out during the war. But it may not be enough to save the... Save the Germans from themselves. Hard research, rubber. It's got to be hard research. So I want this to be at least, 15 factories before I begin doing anything else. Lovely. A couple more a couple more of my paratroopers. And then we can go War of France. We can do that later. Let's go with air production. Air production. Let's look at our paratroopers. So where are my paratrooper boys? In here. So, odd thing about paratroopers is they've got, before you can actually use them, you've got to move them over to the airfield you want to use them in, and then you can use them. There we are. And of course we're going to drop them right here. Yeah, what tends to happen now, I find, is people overstack in North Africa. They push a little bit, then the really garbage, they run out of supply here. Then, of course, they get counterattacked and they lose North Africa. And it ends up being this back and forth where they push over here, run out of supply, get pushed back. Get resupplied, push again, run out of supply, get pushed back. And this is constant back and forth. So that's why transport planes are so important now. Because without transport planes, you end up in a situation where you end up being very vulnerable to lack of supply and bad supply areas. Okay, one more of those. Let's go fascist demagogue. So once we've got rid of North Africa, which will end up shooting us in our own foot, because what happens is the German says, oh look, North Africa's open, let's send half of our force down to die in North Africa, or die in Africa proper. And then of course, you know, all goes badly wrong. Yeah, no one cares about that. Hungary, feed me. You, stop feeding me. One a day is not the best. Actually, stop this foolishness. I need to move down to Air Innovations 2. Normally I like going left-hand side, but because we do have some tanks, I'm going to go right-hand side as well. I don't know if that's going to improve the situation for us, but I suppose I will find out. I mean, we've got some tanks in these units. Whoa, I don't need to see your tutorial. I've got like 1,006 hours in this, 600 hours in this awful, awful game. This methadone for war enthusiasts. Are we getting close to cracking out fighters, or are we still pretty much pooed? Here's 240 fighters. Not a lot of fighters. Okay, begin synthetic rubber production. $15 fighters, yeah, it'll work. It'll work. I would like it a bit better, but hey ho. Bomber effort. Armored effort after this. Retreat, run away. Military police for later. Engineers next. On to the rest of my paratroopers while they're still training up. Now, depending on how well Germany does, we may go to war sooner rather than later. But I still think I've got some time on the clock. Unite the Navy into one big death block because no one uses Navy properly. It's all about mass it all together and hope for the best. Yeah, generally speaking, if you can hold both sides, that's why sometimes, well, Marines are better than paratroopers, but we're LARPing, so really you want to be using Marines to get rid of Gibraltar and that, because until Vichy joins the war, we can't really get over to Gibraltar unless we had the Balearic Islands, and so we're sort of stuck. Unless, of course, we try and build an airfield over here and try and reach over, but it's highly unlikely that's going to work. But it does allow us to sort of land in Cyprus and that and so on, and hopefully it'll be useful in taking Sevastopol later, because that's what I sort of intend to do. Use this to land in Sevastopol and open up another front. How are you doing, Germany? Not very well. I've got so many paratroopers now. I didn't expect to have that many paratroopers this early on. The build is too strong. Ban it now. This build, don't use this build for single player. You will be bullied and you will be banned unless you're playing like non-hist. This does not work in single player. You will get dabbed on. I've built no navy and my air force is garbage. How are you doing, buddy or pal? Send an attaché. I can't because I don't have enough control. Cringe. Alright, how is the Air Force doing now? Okay, we've got some CAS, which is good. We've got a couple of fighters, which is not the best. A lot of transport planes. We can switch off naval bomb production now. Yeah, so the safe option is to land here and just leave, just the hold this line, secure what's left of the islands, secure the rest of the Med, and then move forward. Of course, the big boy option is to push a bit south into resource and into supply hell, and maybe get a couple of rubber resources. But really, you want to be sort of connecting to get that oil from sort of Iraq, and you really probably want to go to war with Iraq as well to secure that oil as well. But you can get some pretty good resources once you do secure this area, and it does open up a oil route. We may go to war with Iraq, I don't know. I may not, because I don't want to open up another front. I'll have to think about it. Because, of course, Iran will eventually go to war with the Soviets, and I don't want to be in a situation where those guys bully me. Are you okay? I don't think he's okay, guys. He's not okay. He's not feeling it, Mr. Krabs. We're just being the rubber refinery boy now, so look forward to that. But now I've got to open up this front as well. Why can't you be better than what you are? AI. Okay, let's plan this out. We're going to free speed now. So plan of action, we'll have to go to war now and break through there. Don't really want to, but the AI sort of left it out of my control. I don't know why I did that, I'm sorry. I got no choice but to save the Italians, well, to save the Germans from themselves, because it's now February 1940 and they've yet to achieve any tangible progress. So let's focus mostly on North Africa first. So we should land. No, because we have not put our fighters up. 1 fighter. 2 fighter. Come on. There we are. Paratrooper 1. Paratrooper 2. Cancel this. And then once you get the paratroopers in, it's about getting this to change to air supply. But of course I've got to withdraw my attaché first. And then of course I can air supply. So air supply, go. Bit of a wasted effort because of course they didn't do a very good job of holding. Now my garbage troops have to try and break across there. Good luck with that. In the meantime, these troops can move forward as they so desire. So we need to take a port. Like, it's not a op for debate. If we can take Alexandria, then we win this. We take Cairo. Maybe build another port in the south. Refinery? No, I need to build a port. Just in case this does not work. Bonus of strength are rounded down, 4.5 round down to 4. So I see, so if you stack, then you're in a good spot. Yep, stacking is good. Stack. Alright, now we have taken this, we no longer have to worry about losing because we have our port. And because you guys are still thinking you're paratrooping, you're not actually following the orders I've assigned you. Go to this. There we are. So paratroopers, move down here. And these boys move further up. How is the left going? Badly. like badly. I've got to probably stop attacking on the left. Germany! You need to break this line, Germany. Yeah, overrun. So that's why we've gone for the speed, the overruns. So it's going too fast, I can't even micro the bloody things. Germany, please! No, don't cancel order. Good. We can send the Air Corps down now to do their thing. I don't understand how Germany's throwing so hard. I mean, it is April, but come on now. Come on, man. If you ever play as Soviet Union, the Soviets have lots of every resource except for rubber, so I find stacking order to reduce round downs. So I generally think it's, if you're playing like historical, you can just trade for rubber as the Soviets, but of course you do lose a lot of resources. Well, I'm doing okay. It's just that the Germans have decided that they no longer wish to help me. I don't have any resources to hold this, so I've got to hold this back. I've got to retreat this line back. Okay, Germany's starting to win. So if this is secured, I can now relocate my assets to the east. Something I don't really want to do because this will become Vichy anyway, but I don't really have much of a choice because the AI has decided to poo its pants on me. Rubber, there's going to be no rubber for me. Not until I've built my rubber refineries. I know I'm running out of supply for overstacking. There we are. Now Germany's cooking with fat. So these 7 troops can now rejoin the gang over here. These guys will begin to starve. Oh no, 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 not the plan. Wrong colour. No. My garrisons are now no longer on the port because it was the wrong colour. You guys have got to go re-garrison. Now I'm going to lose Tripoli for this. Stop. Stop. Where are the boys? The boys are almost here. The boys are coming. You guys are good. Like Giovanni's, you know, bombing it. Have I started to run out of guns yet? Yeah, I have. Okay, no more air production. Start working on gun production. Luckily, there wasn't much of a force here, as we could have ended up in a much worse situation. Let's chase them up the line now. Yeah, see, with that speed, you can just encircle everything. So that's why we've done this build, because the air is what does the damage, and this is what just finishes them off. Unfortunately, we do become rubber mongs for the foreseeable future. You can actually set fallback lines. What the hell? Oh, you mean like there? Yeah, okay, I understand. So with the transport planes, we're in a pretty solid spot. We're going to keep on advancing. Hopefully, this will fall soon, so I can actually do what I want to do. I need this airfield. No tank. Ah, finally we get our Vici. Finally. Right, finish these guys off. Cancel this. Now, if someone remind me once Vici goes to war with the naughty boys, because I need to put garrisons in them. Okay, we need to retreat back here. Because although we'll win the battles, we're going to get encircled because we just have enough troops. So back the way we came. Run away! Run away! I need more guns. Guns, guns, guns. Is these hills or mountains? Oh, I've got no fuel, that's why I'm going so slowly. Tends to happen when you've got no fuel. I should be able to still win this regardless. So the next part of the agenda is we'll be holding this line of our tanks. Well, actually, we'll be holding this line of our paratroopers. That's incorrect, and that's also incorrect. What we'll be doing is we'll be holding that line of 10 garbage divisions while we send these tanks to deal with Yugoslavia and Greece. Once that's been secured, we'll be doing some, what do you call it, parallel activity with some invasions of the islands surrounding the Mediterranean. So let's take a look at casualties. I have lost a whopping 104k. The Allies have lost 833k. Fighting the British, I have lost. Okay, so we've done pretty well. Using this small sort of force. I don't know how many of the French we dealt with. Yeah, done pretty well. To about 3-to-1 casualty figures. Anyway, let's send this unit back up here to prepare for landings on this sector. These troops are going to half up. Join the North Africa campaign. So I've got to do some switching around now. So this will be the European force. These guys are going to go over here. Try not to get naval invaded. Yes, absolutely. The area fallback line is a much more effective tool. So an area fallback line is just using the fallback line to do garrison duty, which is much more effective, actually is less likely to get you killed and is generally more useful, but it just requires a bit more effort. So depending on how hard we want to win the game, we will of course reflect how we want, whether we do said fallback line. So we now need to buy fuel, but we've secured Iran, so we should be pretty good. And our paratroopers can now begin operations to invade Cyprus, Malta, and other areas of interest. So we get our fighters. Any transport planes for me? No transport planes. So I must have taken some transport plane casualties. So let's go over here. Select some of my transport planes. Half that, bring those guys over here. What about my CAS? Have I got any CAS? Yeah, I got some CAS as well. Got some CAS, and get me some more fighters as well. And then I can start organising. One, 2, 3, 4. Good. These guys will begin planning. Those guys will move up. And then garrisons. Garys. Yep. How long does it take for you guys to get here? Oh, it's 3 speed or 2 speed. Actually, it's pause, so that's probably why you're taking so long. So, move this over here. One there. One there. CAS over here. Supply planes there. Okay. You ready, paratroopers? I hope so. No, you're not. You still need to get one guy over there. Come on, chop chop. Justify the war. How's the resources? Rubber's still pretty rotten, but we're getting there. I should have some fighters soon. Well, we're getting there in the fighter production. That's why we're going so budget, because we just need fighters. Yep. Of course, if you you can get around. If you're cheeky, I've seen Japan players, because you only get a notification of a naval invasion if your troops are on the coastline where they're invading. So, for example, I wouldn't get a notification if they naval invaded here. So, of course, in the Pacific, when you've got massive islands, I've seen like Italian players do a naval invasion of, say, this random tile in the corner of the map, which no one notices, build a port, and then send their entire army to this port, and no one has noticed. Of course, it's very high risk, sort of high reward, but if you can pull it off, then you're on the gravy train. So this is why I don't move forward after this point, because the Germans like to do some silly things for themselves. Okay, that war goal is available. Let's first do Operation Cyprus. I've got to make sure this air wing is not doing this. There we are. Oh, wait. Oh no, okay, it'll work. Because you've got to wait to get the reorg first, but I didn't do that. So you need to land and then switch to air supply, which takes some time. So from there, we'll take a look at our resources. What do we need? We still need a lot of guns. But of course I'm not building any mills because I'm trying to catch up on the river issues. So with this, we can now relocate this force and focus on our next air invasion, which of course will be Malta. Yeah, so if you're wondering why your paratroopers are not dropping, it's because you've assigned your transport planes a mission. So you need to turn off the air supply mission, then they'll paradrop if you've got air superiority in every single air place, and then switch back to air supply so they're supplied, otherwise you're going to have a rotten time. And if you're wondering why your troops aren't moving to paradrop sites, it's because your troops need to be in the same continent or same area as your paratroopers. So that's why I've had to manually move them. So, let us begin Operation Yugoslav. Declare war, call allies. Let's do this. I have no idea why you decided to attack that. Let's see if I can get some more CAS up. Some more fighters potentially. No, I haven't got enough fighters for that. And before we do the breakthrough, let me upgrade my air wings for continuous strike. There we are. Okay. Breakthrough found. Start bombing it. Circled. Overrun! Get over here before the British turn up, which is their wont to do. No! Run away, there you go. Not Albania! Unfortunately, sort of blitzkrieg tactic is going to start struggling against the org walls of the Russian Empire, but we will see what we can do about that. Run away, stop. Got to keep an eye on the rest of the world, because if you don't, then you could end up in a bad spot. Yeah, especially because sometimes you get a notification that Vichy's joined the war, but of course you don't realise, and then next thing you know, you've lost into like half of Africa to a torch you didn't even notice. Yeah, you're done for. That's not my problem anymore. So what do I need to do now? I need to begin building more garrisons. Why need more garrisons? I can only do this. I can't get any larger because I haven't got enough resources. I don't have enough resources for this. Yeah, you're done for. I can't help you. So let's turn off air production, go to War of Greece, and hopefully we put all our air assets over this objective. We should be able to take Malta. Let's give it a go. Let's hope for the best. Go for it. Force attack. Just about Malta taken. Very lucky on that.
Pronto, signore.
Again, Marines are much more better for this sort of affair.
Pronto, signore. Pronto.
They don't care, just expand out. Fuck it.
Pronto all'azione.
So, next objective is Greece. Why don't I have any garrisons on this port? Why don't I have any garrisons on any of these ports? That's the question. It's a bit spooky. That's a bit scary. Okay, now we've got to move our paratroopers over to the left. Because we have another plan, which will be to land on the southern mountains. Actually, probably to land there if I can. So if we get our air force, shift all of that over onto the right. See if we can get any more boys for the gang. We are beginning fighter advances, but it's just a lack of rubber, which is really letting the team down. A strength for that 6th Battalion Infantry Division is that you get 6 York. Yep, exactly. It's all about the Org War. So that's why this divisional build, if we look at our doctrine, is it can actually be very good if you want to do Org walls to go down mobile infantry, because you get a lot of Org bonuses. So you can just stack Org and it takes ages for anyone to break through you. But of course, eventually they will break through you, but it's more to do with the ease of how long it takes from the breakthrough. So, our next strategic plan will be to take Greece. I want to try and take this little pivot here, so it's easier for me at a later date. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then get all the air up over it if I can. So I need some air on this. Some air on this. And then where's the last part of my air? The cast can come over here. And hopefully I should have some more fighters somewhere. There we are, some fighters there. Good. And at the same time, we'll try and do a breakthrough from the north. So if we start justifying, actually my focus should do that for me. Yeah. So we can wait for a while. This is what I get worried about. This is why I don't go down south after this stage, because the Germans like to go down there themselves and play who wants to die first from supply starvation. I'm going to start upgrading my tank chassis. Okay, who's naval invading where? Garrison? Garrison? Where's my garrison? 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 Oh my god, my garrison decided to shuffle. This is why you do the fallback line. Because I'm about to lose an island for no apparent reason. I completely lost the island. I'm pretty mad. Pretty fucking mad. I might be able to take it back. Might be able to take it back. Come on, come on. More reinforcements. Nope, that's a dead duck. I'll have to take that back at a later date, but I've got time in the bank, so it's not the end of the world. I can't believe my garrisons decided to... Well, actually, I did that to myself. So why have I got two different garrisons for two different jobs? Join that. Deploy this.
Pronto all'azione.
U-20. Join this. And start spreading out. Okay, War of Greece.
Pronto. Pronto all'azione.
One,
Sì, signore.
2, 3, 4. Then the air wings. Go to air supply over here. And then the rest of you join this.
Comandi. Attento. Comandi. Comandi. Attento.
Go, 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 go! Why so slow, 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 slow? And that just saves us from org death or supply death.
Comandi. Avanzate. Pronto. Comandi. Pronto all'azione. Avanzate.
Yeah, easy. Easy, once you took Athens, because this can be a problem because the AI likes to stack up on this and just starve you out.
Pronto all'azione.
And so you can't actually push, like you could break it if the AI would just leave you alone, but I know you can turn it off, but it's just a bit frustrating, you know. It's one of those things.
Pronto all'azione. Pronto, signore.
That's a pretty painless grease.
Ordini.
Taken in a couple of months, so that's always good.
Vi respingiamo, signore. Pronto all'azione.
Goodbye, Greece.
Comandi.
Yeah, so this is bad. Like, this is bad micro. You shouldn't be doing this. But yeah, you should not be doing this because it's bad micro. You should do a fallback line. You should be... Okay, I'll show you how you're supposed to do it. Gary. Okay, so let's get these guys. So your first fallback line should look something like... And then take the other half, get some random general. I'm supposed to have like a, yeah, but it's just tedious because you've got to like organize and build it. Now there is an alternative to what you can do. So the alternative is to simply turn off the garrisons after you've put them down. And then that way you don't have to worry about it.
Ordini.
But of course, you get new territory, then you've got to redo it all over again. This becomes a bit of a nightmare. As you can probably tell. So if you want ease of play, Gary's your friend, But if you want to actually do it properly, Garys are not your friend. Garys will get you killed. Or garrison orders will get you killed. Because now I'm going to end up forgetting one defensive position like Malta, and then they're just going to naval invade it. Anyway, this is being secured. Let's do Libyan refineries. We're almost on the way to getting rubber independence. But we still have a long way to go just yet.
Pronto all'azione. Pronto all'azione. Formazione.
So the European force are now set up over here. And we're going to relocate our boys over here because we have to re-invade Corsica, and then hopefully we'll be able to like secure something else. I wonder if I can get enough range on these transport planes. Transport plane. Just give me one of these. I wonder if I can get enough range from over here. Probably not. No. Shame. Anyway, let's get the entire Air Force back over here. Let's merge them. Merge them all. Okay. And let's start planning the retaking of Corsica. No, Sardinia. This is Sardinia, not Corsica. What am I saying? Yeah, so there are pros and cons to the fallback line. So, of course, the fallback line, I believe, gives you the garrison order gives you bonus defense, whereas the fallback line, of course, can only handle 24 divisions. So you've got to micro it, make a load of fallback lines. It's not too bad if you're Germany because you just like make a couple of armies and go, and there you go. But of course, it becomes a bit of a nuisance. So with our limited number of fighters, and I do mean limited, I forgot to do a research switch. There we are. We have to secure the air over here. Get our CAS over here. This is going to be rather difficult to do, I feel. Oh no, not too bad. And maybe I'm going to have to get some air over here as well. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, then I'll try. Because I now got some rather good troops, and I should really have a army group, but hey, there's no need for the try hard here. You've got an order, haven't you? Yeah, you got an order. Turn off. And then land. 1, 2, and then this turns into air supply. I'm also going to have to do some dodgy stuff here. I don't understand why my troops have no equipment, but I'll have to check that. I'm going to have to do some stodgy stuff here and upgrade my cav. To about 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give them an MP. I'll give them MP, yeah. And then, of course, for the guys that are kicking off, which will be Greece, No, Greece ain't too bad. That'll be Yugoslavia then. Who's got the highest resistance? That'll be Yugoslavia, yeah. Military governor, and that should hopefully bring it down.
Forza, forza! Non fermatevi!
Lucky boys. Don't understand why you've got no equipment, so I'll have to take a look at that. Why are you guys so low on equipment? No particular reason. You just don't have equipment.
Preparatevi!
Yeah, military governor tends to be my standard. Unless, of course, I got collab governments and things like that, but that's very, very rare. I'm going to run out of build slots again, so that means another hard research into Spurs industry.
Sì, signore!
Okay, boys, this has been resecured. Don't screw me up again. And that is this campaign secure. So now we can either spend the next year or so pushing down south into Africa, which I think I'm going to do just for the sake of it. And the paratroopers are going to set themselves up here.
Pronto, signore! Pronto all'azione!
I'm going to lose a lot of equipment doing this, but hey ho. Hey oh. Relocate to a North African force up here. No, I didn't know that. Didn't know that about your secret police. There you go, the more you know.
Comandi! Comandi!
Who do you belong to? You can be infantry expert.
Pronto all'azione!
So, welcome to Supply Hell. It's not a nice place. Don't go here very often. It's a foolish place. So you're going to need a lot of transports, or you're going to need to spend a lot of time building up supply areas, both of which is irritating and tedious to do. Or you have small amounts of troops in this area, which are very good.
Pronto!
You should micro this, you shouldn't be fighting in mountains, but this is not a multiplayer game, so I don't have to worry about it too much.
Ordini! Avanzate!
Overrun. I should just micro this. I mean, I've got nothing else better to do.
Ordini! Pronto all'azione!
Another lovely overrun because they all go so slow because they have no supply.
Ordini!
They can't stop, they can't help themselves.
Pronto
They're
all'azione!
doomed.
Sì, signore!
Meanwhile, I've got plenty of the hecking Troncarinos, supply Renos. I've almost extracted 57 rubber. You know it's bad when the AI, like, I can't trade for rubber from the Germans, so I don't know where the Germans are getting their rubber from. Maybe it's from Vichy, but you know it's bad when Italy is the sole rubber provider.
Pronto all'azione!
I'm just going to go around Ethiopia. I have no intention of fighting that hellhole.
Forza, muovetevi!
Maybe build up another air zone. I can't because I don't have enough supply over it. Enough control over it.
Pronto all'azione! Avanzate!
You should hand micro North Africa. Like, it makes your life so much easier.
Signore! Formazione! Pronto! Formazione!
Oh yeah, I've forgotten about these islands. I'll have to take them as well. Let's move these guys up.
Pronto, signore!
Where are you guys? Are you over here? Plonk yourselves down here while we try and plan for an air invasion.
Comandi! Formazione! Attento!
Yeah, I tend to go an all-round 30. I don't know why, but I feel like 30 is just a good all-round number. I don't really know what the meta is anymore for builds. I don't need to upgrade you anymore. I can upgrade you. I'm just using air to supply myself.
Comandi! Attento! Pronto all'azione! Attento! Pronto all'azione! Pronto! Pronto!
I'm going to end up in jungle. I don't really want to end up in jungle.
Comandi!
In the meantime, I need to plan a naval invasion. Or an airborne invasion. Oh, I finally got my rubber problem sorted, yes. I mean, it means I can produce more mills for guns. Lovely. Okay. Six transport planes. That's not a lot of transport planes for this operation.
Sì, signore! Pronto all'azione!
Yeah, transport planes are your friends, as demonstrated with how these guys are completely rolled over.
Attento!
Sort of on a time frame here to complete this for Barb.
Pronto all'azione! Pronto all'azione! Pronto all'azione!
Yeah, so now they did succeed in changing how combat whip works in regards to now there's no one size fits all. However, what I found is that most players tend to ignore it and just go with a general strategy that won't be optimum, but is just easier than actually hand tailoring for each situation. So of course you could make one particular group of units for, you know, forests, or you could make one particular group of units for planes, but in the end what people do is go, I'll just make a generalized group of units that either will or will not work, but will be acceptable for the situation. Okay.
Pronto all'azione.
This is going to be very, very sticky. I don't think this is going to work. We'll give it a go, but... Okay, we landed.
Avanti! Avanzate!
Paratroopers try and push across.
Pronto, signore.
Good. Let's produce some more troops before I run out of manpower, which I'm about to.
Pronto all'azione. Sì, signore. Pronto all'azione.
Jolly good. I'm going to take 10 of these and make these the D-Day wall defense, because the AI never does a D-Day wall defense. Never. Never, ever. And then whatever new troops we get. Because what most multiplayer games is tank spam and what 20 whips, but I know it's not the case completely anymore. But for the most part, it still hasn't really changed a lot. I mean, you do get the odd person that does do tailor-made divisions, but most of the time, they don't bother. So I'm now out of manpower, so I've got to wait for that to come back. But we can now upgrade our tank divisions. So, as you may or may not have noticed, depending on... Wow, I did not see that. Okay. We have now got our improved light tank chassis, which we had a while back, but I just didn't have enough time to upgrade it. Heavy machine gun, special modules. I can't believe I haven't researched radios yet. That's cringe. I don't need reliability. I need... garbage. 5 speed. There we go. Give me the L6. I wonder if I was actually running out of tanks. I was running out of tanks as well. Wow. That's frustrating. Because now these tanks are going to be pretty garbage until I've got my mass production back.
Comandi. Non fermatevi!
I think we've got more or less air superiority over this region now. That's why we're doing so well. Oh, but saying that, maybe not. Can I deploy more air? No, I can't. Give me more air. There we are.
Prendete la mira!
Yes, not. This is where we should not be pushing. This is a bad spot to push. We're just going to lose too much equipment. Instead, let's try and push over here. And try and flank around. I do like how the terrain actually makes you sort of think about your strategy now rather than just go, I'm going to ignore that because I've mass produced. But then again, because I'm going to doing such a ghetto build, I've got no choice but to do that.
Pronto.
Attack. Take the port, 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 take the port. Try and take the port. Run out of supply doing so. Cry. Try not to cry. Cry a lot. What do you mean? You guys aren't doing anything? There we are. Oh, I didn't know you could do that for no cost. That's pretty clever, that. I like that. Let's take a look. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool.
Sì, signore.
Why did my air suddenly decide not to do its job? That's the question I want to know. And what has happened to most of my air supply? Is it just gone now? Oh, my transport's dead. Hope not.
Ordini.
In any case, I think we can resume the offensive now. Until, of course, Germany goes to war, runs away. It's all about getting that port. If I can get this port, I reckon I can just surround these guys. Also, what the hell am I not doing using my navy? Like, I literally have a navy for this exact purpose.
Attento. Li respingiamo, signore. Pronto. Pronto, signore. Avanzate.
Have my tanks slow down? No, it's just bad terrain. Maybe lack of oil.
Formazione.
This is a struggle now because of the bad supply in this area. Also, probably because I shouldn't battle plan because it's silly. You're a silly man for battle planning. Everyone knows battle plans are for idiots. Like, look, you're on a mass retreat because you battle planned. It's entirely your fault. Did I win? Yes, I did.
Comandi.
Looks like they've decided to actually counterattack North Africa, which is not the best idea for me. Yeah, they are beginning to become a nuisance.
Avanzate. Comandi.
But they're running out of supply, so it's all working out. How's the rubber going? We being a mass supplier of rubber. Yeah, not doing too badly. Let's keep mass supplying rubber, I guess. Until the Germans no longer want it. So, Barber started. This is where we should begin to withdraw from these foreign entanglements.
Avanti!
So this will immediately fall back to the fallback line here.
Pronto all'azione.
And then we'll make a Barb theatre. Barb theatre. Yeah, we're going to retreat now from Ethiopia. It's no longer an area of interest for me. I'm going to assist in Barb.
Pronto all'azione. Pronto all'azione.
That's if my guys can retreat, because they're in a bit of a sticky spot right now.
Formazione.
This is our operation. This is our Sevastopol operation. So the plan here will be to hopefully open up a second front with our new divisions that are hopefully coming forward soon. Are these guys at war yet? No, you got to tell me when you're at war. So we'll begin fortifying. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And stick up an airfield behind. Yeah, so this will probably end up being a gradual pushback as Germany sort of fails to attack. But I feel like Germany requires more help in Barb in a unmodded game than they do in Africa, because Africa's not really the end of the game for me. There's another 16 troops coming out. We can do now upgrade weapons, engines, liability. Oof. I guess not. I guess we'll just start mass producing you. Start mass producing the gun as well. How's this going for us? We still need tanks, which is a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, our air should now be relocated back over here. I'm going to upgrade an airfield so we can actually use it for operations. I'm going to need another MP, I'm going to need this guy, and I'm going to need this guy. Let's take a look at our Division Solaire. 12 kilometers, which is good. They've got 38 org, which is okay. And I need 10 military XP before I can do anything else. In the meantime, how's that airfield going? Okay, it's starting to build up. So let's put our air supply over. And then let's get our paratroopers ready. So our paratroopers have been spending a long time waiting. They're all ready to go. And for this particular operation, which I do like doing as a single player, Italy is of course the Sevastopol operation. If you can nail and invade Sevastopol, open up another front and potentially break through into Baku. Of course, it's easier said than done, and it's actually a lot harder than to be expected. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have like every division land. 6, 7. There we are. And then those guys should move off to do that. And then we'll move up our fighters. If I somehow been able to get air superiority over here. Okay. Whatever. Oh, they got some casts. Or some strats.
Andiamo!
It's going to take ages for these guys to retreat.
Forza, forza!
Run away! Run away! Let's run away, baby! Run away! Now! Run away! Oh yeah, I forgot about you. I need MPs. There we are.
Attento!
Come on, hurry us up. You weren't supposed to be here all day because the British just keep on attacking. There we are. Okay, where's our Cass? Cass is there. I'm often friend take to play the party. I can almost it's been a while since I did French, so I am souvent. I don't know what souvent means. I know friend means take, or prend, jouer, to play. C'est party. Party, I don't it's going to be obviously party. But I don't know what souvent means. I think souvent means often. Okay, is our tanks here yet? Yes, they are. Oh, that's fine. Well, you don't really have to play. A lot of these quote-unquote pros, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some very good players. Like, if you go on Twitch and that, then you're going to see a lot of really hardcore gamers and some really good like guys who know to get the game inside and out. And then you've got the others who just go off the most disgusting meta strategy known to man and are generally a pain to be around, who aren't very good at the game, but because they know a particular overpowered meta strategy, they play it to death. So I don't think you have to really worry about that too much. It just depends on what lobby you get into. This depends what lobby you get into. Like, if you want a casual game which isn't going to be too sweaty, I would recommend non-historical games. Non-historical games tend to be workable, but if you're going historical, then you are going to be vetted rather badly. So I try and play historical a lot of the time as a miner, because I know most of the builds for miners. But yeah, it can be a bit of a nightmare on multiplayer. Okay, I think we're good. I got some new troops coming any second now, so I think we're going to join the war. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, Dor. You're a funny guy. Ha 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 ha.
Pronto, signore.
Where's my commander? I need a new commander. There we are. Okay. I know it can be. It can be pretty garbage to play alone. But it's better with mods, and of course, the thing with multiplayer is you need Discord, you need communication, and all that sort of thing. It'd be a bit of a pain, I'm just destroying the British Navy over here, but I don't really want to anymore. I want this Navy to come back. which they're slowly doing. Okay, let's do this.
Pronto, signore.
Operation Sevastopol is a go. Is it actually a go? No, because I need the Black Sea. There we are. Am I at war with these guys? No, I'm not. That's why. No, let's have a good one, Captain. There we are. D-Day landing. Well, not D-Day landing. Paratrooper landing.
Sì, signore.
Immediately delete these.
Pronto. Ordini. Attento. Avanzate. Avanzate. Avanzate.
And then, of course, see if we can get this air up. So I don't think the rest of my paratroopers are going to land, so we're going to have to hope for the best. Don't worry, we should be able to air supply for now.
Fuoco nemico.
Why do you keep going over here, you lunatic? Stop. Stop that. Stop that now. You've given up my entrenchment and screwing up my supply.
Riparatevi. Riparatevi. Mantenete le distanze. Fuoco nemico. Comandi. Ordini.
Force attack.
Attento.
Take it. Take it, please, before the tanks show up. There we are. Okay. And
Andiamo.
now we're cooking with fat.
Continuate l'attacco. Pronto all'azione.
Come on. Oh, I've got no fuel, that's why.
Comandi.
Why won't you go over here?
Fuoco nemico. Continuate l'attacco.
Stop attacking. Stop attacking. Stop attacking. Stop attacking.
Ordini.
Navy, stop navying.
Formazione.
Pin, pin.
Prendete la mira. Attento. Ordini. Avanti.
On avanti. Oh, these tanks. Go away, tanks. Break out. Gotta break out.
Sì, signore.
Where are the rest of my tank divisions? What the hell? Get over here. Get over here.
Sì, signore. Pronto. Sì, signore.
Luckily, these tank divisions don't appear to be very good. Good.
Formazione.
The next wave of tanks is here.
Ecco.
Get the air. So all of us air. Under you. Yeah, that was a hard one. Pretty close. I had to be very careful about
Formazione.
not over attacking and having to use the right focuses and so on and so forth. But with this, I believe we're now fully in control of this theatre. I can now combine the troops up. Have one tank set up over here
Pronto, signore.
as a separate unit. This can go under Giovanni Messi. And then our new recruits will hopefully move over themselves. But for some strange reason, these guys do not want to manually move over into Sevastopol. Regardless, I don't care too much. We got some naval landings in the north, which ain't too bad. And we've got some war going on in the south, which again isn't too bad. The main effort really is preparing for that D-Day landing. So if I can get as many of those troops out as possible. What am I low on? Yeah, no more. No more of those. What am I low on? Pretty much everything at this stage, so I've got to be a bit careful. Anyway,
Comandi.
the next step will be to try and break through.
Ordini.
Over there. But I need to get some of my naval bombers. And I also need to upgrade this airfield. There we are. Because now we're going to be constantly bombarded.
Formazione.
So now my troops can sort of form the role of Fallschirmjäger, so I can start equipping my paratroopers with artillery pieces and so on and so forth. So they're no longer probably going to be used for air-based activities, but will just simply be used for a sort of elite infantry.
Pronto, signore.
I can break this. We have enough CAS, I can break this. My troops are better, I can break this. But at what cost? Also, I know my oil is now wildly all over the place.
Rendete la mira.
Right, so it looks like the paratroopers will have to be used once again for their main role. So where are my paratroop air wings? Okay,
Forza, muovetevi. Formazione.
under what's his face? You can go under him
Ordini.
and retreat back over here.
Avanzate.
So Kerch has been blocked, but I do believe with the correct amount of air, I should be able to break on through it. Or with the correct use of paratroopers, I'll be able to break on through it.
Attento. Attento. Pronto, signore. Pronto, signore. Formazione. Attento. Pronto.
And this will be our breakthrough moment. Opening up that second front for the Italian theatre. Hopefully Vici isn't at war with anyone yet. No, that's fine.
Comandi.
I'm gonna wait until all these guys are fully equipped as well. Because we took a bit of a pasting over here doing that. Fine, we'll do some navy stuff. There you go. That should keep you happy.
Ordini.
How's the equipment? Almost there. We low on anything? Low on light tanks still, but that'll be fixed in a second.
Formazione.
I'll give it to the halfway through this month. Probably could. Have I got any infantry here? Yeah, okay. I'll take those infantry and put them over. That's if I can get the naval superiority to do it. It shouldn't be too hard to do actually if I just select all my subs. Oh, I can't even get through it. That should be fine then. No, it can't be access, so I'll have to use my air. That's a shame.
Attento.
Air will have to be used. Let's start researching our new set of... Oh, let's actually research the radio because I forgot how to research that bad boy.
Pronto all'azione.
So you guys are ready. Oh, you can naval invade. Okay, in which case, naval invasion,
Formazione.
paratrooper invasion. No, no paratrooper invasion. Why? Because we don't have air superiority.
Comandi.
There we are. Landing 1, landing 2, landing 3. Oh, the air wings are no longer working. I guess I've lost air superiority. That's fine.
Pronto all'azione. Comandi.
Attack, attack, attack.
Fermatevi!
Now have I got superiority again? Okay, paratroopers, back off that. More paratroopers coming in. Okay.
Pronto!
A lot of enemy tanks coming through here.
Attento! Pronto, signore!
A lot of enemy tanks.
Sì, signore! Formazione! Mantenete le distanze! Attento!
Yeah, I'm moving this back up here.
Pronto all'azione!
Okay, and oh yeah. It's going back on these guys.
Pronto!
I don't like what I have to hand micro this now. It's very frustrating.
Attento!
So winter time, can we achieve a breakthrough?
Avanzate!
Probably not unless we've got air supremacy. Okay, let's slow this down.
Comandi!
I'm actually achieving stuff here.
Non fermatevi!
Overrun!
Avanzate! Comandi! Continuate l'attacco! Pronto! Attento!
Yeah, that did help a lot. It did. Normally I wouldn't bother, but actually it did help a remarkable amount.
Pronto all'azione! Avanzate! Pronto! Forza, muovetevi!
So many tanks. Quite impressed by the AI actually making that many tanks.
Ordini? Comandi? Pronto? Pronto? Sì, signore. Avanzate! Comandi? Avanzate!
Okay, now we can make our Fallschirmjäger infantry divisions. Oh, Fallschirmjäger. Paratroopers.
Pronto? Sì, signore.
See if I can go for Rostov. Oh no, Rostov's going to be a tough nut to crack.
Sì, signore. Formazione. Attento. Pronto. Pronto.
Come on. I shouldn't be I should hand micro this. Micro, hand micro.
Sì, signore. Sì, signore.
Hand micro.
Sì, signore. Pronto. Formazione. Andiamo. Avanzate. Comandi. Pronto, signore. Ordini.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm just upgrading it because I know the infantry waves are about to come in. I know I can refuse the Germans not to have supply, but I'd rather not.
Signore. Pronto all'azione. Comandi.
Go, go, go! Yep, the last air invasion of the...
Nemico.
oh god, no. No!
Pronto. Riparatevi.
The last air invasion of the paratroopers of Italy.
Comandi.
Oh yeah, I should upgrade that port. I need to upgrade that rail road as well, don't I? There we are. Up we get. Up we get. I need Rostock. If I can get Rostock, I'm quids in, but...
Signore. Prendete la mira. Ordini. Formazione. Pronto all'azione. Avanzate. Ordini. Avanzate. Pronto all'azione.
That was seaport level. It is level 3, so that's why we're upgrading. Upgrading, then we're going to upgrade that to level as high as we can get it until I'm quite happy with what we've got. And then afterwards I'm going to upgrade to the railroads as well.
Pronto, signore. Sì, signore. Ordini.
I'm surprised the Ethiopians are doing so well, you know?
Formazione.
How is the rest of the battle going? It's not doing too bad, actually. Germans are doing a pretty good job.
Pronto all'azione. Avanzate. Avanzate. Pronto, signore. Pronto, signore. Avanzate. Ordini.
Yes, it is the, I blame the Ai. Oh no, it's got a garrison now. But yeah, you're right. We should not have Sevastopol undefended.
Sì, signore.
You are right about that. Good. Rostock's taken.
Formazione.
I'm going to try and punch down here to secure this supply line.
Attento.
Oh crap. Because these guys have got motorised recon. They need oil. Not realise that.
Fuoco nemico. Fuoco nemico!
And see if I can split up the air wing here so it's got more than... It's got options, really. There we are. Okay, tanks. Breakthrough.
Avanzate! Avanzate! Continuate l'attacco! Ordini! Vi respingiamo, signore! Non fermatevi! Pronto! Pronto! Pronto all'azione! Pronto! Avanzate! Pronto all'azione! Avanzate! Avanzate! Attento!
The breakthrough!
Sì, signore! Avanzate! Pronto!
I'm running out of oil now though, so once again it'll be a case of getting this and splitting it again.
Comandi! Avanzate! Sì, signore! Pronto, signore! Ordini!
I think Rostov's got a higher port level, so it's not... yeah, it's fine. We need to go down there anyway. We need to go down there anyway.
Pronto! Comandi!
Ooh, wow. Go and put some more troops out for the D-Day wall. If I can. How many... I need more guns. Guns, guns, guns. See, I think we've got it now. It's just a case of I needed to split my transport wings.
Attento! Comandi!
The problem I'm going to have here is that I've broken through, but I don't have
Sì, signore!
enough troops to sort of exploit it.
Avanzate! Pronto all'azione! Ordini! Avanzate! Pronto! Avanzate! Preparatevi! Avanzate!
I got a plan here.
Comandi!
Okay, they're invading Norway in the Tyrrhenian Sea. That's failed dismally. Yeah, so the strategic plan here is to split the Caucasus in two. But I just need to make sure the Germans are secure up north before I do that.
Formazione!
So that's why we're moving the tanks here for sort of a big operation in a moment.
Sì, signore! Pronto!
I need to buy more oil. Let's buy it from Romania.
Sì, signore.
Okay, operation punch through begins.
Avanzate.
No, I need even more oil. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a lot of Romanian oil.
Formazione. Non fermatevi. Attento. Avanzate. Pronto all'azione. Pronto, signore. Comandi. Ordini. Attento. Pronto, signore. Pronto all'azione. Avanzate.
God, these units are so fast. I love it.
Comandi. Pronto, signore. Formazione. Comandi. Avanzate. Ordini. Formazione. Ordini. Sì, signore. Comandi. Avanzate. Sì, signore. Avanzate. Pronto. Ordini.
And I need to build a rail line really along here. So Astrakhan. All the way over here. And an airfield.
Pronto. Sì, signore. Comandi. Ordini. Fuoco nemico. Avanzate.
They've started to halt my advance. I need more CAS, more CAS, more CAS. I got a load of CAS apparently. Maybe I need more. I don't even know what I need.
Pronto all'azione.
Alright, we'll focus on that in a minute.
Attento.
Yeah, in the real version, these guys would have been able to evacuate, but alas,
Azione.
these boys will not be evacuating because, of course, the Caspian does not have any seaports in the base game. Of course, they would have been able to evacuate or reinforce historically, but alas, this is not
Pronto, signore.
a real life historical example.
Pronto, signore.
I'm so hungry for oil.
Pronto all'azione. Continuate l'attacco.
That's most of the Soviets dealt with. In the south, I'll almost have the Baku oil fields, and then the Germans will have to trade with me for oil. I made us land lease it to them or give it to them, you know.
Formazione.
I'm such a nice guy. This is why I always recommend hand microing if you want to have the most fun. Because hand microing, you can actually achieve more if you hand micro than if you were to just
Pronto all'azione.
let the game do its own thing.
Sì, signore. Pronto.
That was a good Baku campaign, I quite like that.
Attento.
Sadly, I don't think you'd ever be able to pull this off in multiplayer, because most of the time players will garrison their ports and the tanks would come down and break through you, so it's unlikely you'd be able to pull this off. But it's good in single player as a sort of another theatre, because sometimes it can be quite a struggle to try and break through the central theatres because there's no supply. So sometimes it can be quite nice just to make your own theatre and go like, ah, I can actually achieve stuff in my own theatre. That's nice. So I've got oil. I can now give this over to the Germans. There you go, have Baku. Ah, no. What have you done? There we are. Baku. Armenia, here you go. Have all of that. Have all that sweet, sweet oil. I don't want to see this anymore. Thank you.
Ordini.
How's Japan doing? Not bad. Japan's doing pretty well. Haven't seen the Allies do much in a while. Speak of the devil and they will appear. Got some Soviet naval invasions, that's interesting. Okay, Operation Baku Blitz has begun or been completed. Strategic success. Oil recovered. Everyone happy. So the next step is to build up our supply lines for the next offensive. Which unfortunately will have to be to retake Astrakhan. I don't need to upgrade this anymore, we're good. I don't really need to upgrade that anymore either. There we are. Good. So we can either try and start pushing eastwards and try and take Astrakhan to link up Stalingrad from the south, or we can try and punch across north. Like you see, there's a lot of, well, bad supply in this area and it's quite consolidated, whereas of course on the east we've still got a lot of weak Soviet reserves on the right hand side. So my thinking is if we keep pushing on the east we might be able to come up from behind Stalingrad, and once we've got behind Stalingrad we can move forward. Of course I could try and punch through the centre, but there's no supply there. But I think that is the best call of action. I just want to make sure we haven't got any spare air slots we can use. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of air slots. Let's bring out the CAS. Half that CAS down. You should have used iterations of 100 for CAS, but what you should use and what I end up using are two different things. And bring all of these onto our units. Good. Interesting. Let me deploy some more troops, if possible. Simply because I want to make sure my garrisons are okay for D-Day. As you can probably tell, the Germans aren't very good at D-Day defense, so it's rather imperative that you pick up the slack. See, on the one hand, I could build fuel storage facilities, but on the other, I don't need to because I've got so much fuel and I've got so much access and I've got so much industry already.
Formazione. Formazione. Avanzate.
And so that's why I'm not bothering.
Attento. Pronto, signore.
I like playing miners because I like the ability to micro.
Andiamo.
That's why I don't really play Italy a lot, but I like the fact I can just micro this up
Pronto all'azione.
and like do some disgusting damage just by micro. Like, look at all that. It's just so. Whereas, of course, if you're playing a big nation, it can be harder to sort of multitask all the things you're doing.
Pronto. Pronto. Avanzate. Pronto. Avanzate. Formazione. Ordini. Avanzate. Avanzate. Pronto all'azione. Formazione. Comandi. Pronto all'azione.
Italian push to Stalingrad.
Formazione. Formazione. Pronto all'azione. Attento.
My infantry's falling behind. This is what Blitzkrieg looks like. Ah, Italian Blitzkrieg.
Pronto, signore. Attento. Formazione. Ordini. Attento.
Damn it! Right outside right outside Stalingrad.
Attento. Sì, signore. Avanzate. Ordini. Avanzate. Formazione. Avanzate. Pronto. Avanzate. Attento. Pronto, signore. Avanzate. Ordini. Pronto, signore. Continuate l'attacco.
What is with all these Soviet tanks? Damn, son.
Sì, signore. Pronto all'azione. Pronto, signore. Avanzate. Formazione. Vi respingiamo, signore. Sì, signore. Pronto all'azione. Attento.
I'm going too fast. I can't micro this fast.
Pronto, signore. Pronto all'azione. Avanzate.
Ugh.
Avanzate. Forza, forza. Ordini. Forza, forza. Andiamo.
This is what we prepared
Sì,
for.
signore. Ordini. Formazione.
And this is why you don't you don't garrison order, because the AI will literally abandon its positions.
Attento.
I've actually beaten AI well, in multiplayer games. I've actually won games by invading as the allies against garrison player Germany's. It's not a pretty sight. Oh crap.
Continuate l'attacco. Pronto. Avanzate. Mantenete le distanze. Vi respingiamo, signore. Ritirata. Prendete la mira.
I think I just lost 2 of my tank divisions. Oh well. Retreat back to Stalingrad while we deal with the D-Day. Okay. We'll build 2 more of our tank divisions. If we can, because it looks like I don't have enough equipment to do so.
Attento.
What am I low on? Support equipment, light tanks, infantry equipment. That's probably why I'm low on that. Let's get rid of these naval bombers. In the real version of World War II, the Soviets made 23,000 tanks a year in both 1943 and 1944. Having all those Soviet tanks has been kind of... Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're not very good. Like, they are AI tanks, but there's a lot of them. So we lost 2 of our tank divisions. We need to hopefully get 2 more, 3 more. But our attack has postponed at Stalingrad for now. Okay, we no longer need that one. We no longer need this either. We need those, and we'll build up these airfields as well. Build up the Stalingrad airfields. So my next attempt will be take a small remainder of the northern Black Sea coast, help Germany. So I'm thinking we end up doing sort of a breakthrough at Stalino and encircle this entire force at Stalino, and then with that broken, we push towards Moscow.
Formazione.
That's my plan.
Avanzate. Avanzate.
You encircle at Kharkov. That's the plan. Grand encirclement at Kharkov.
Ritiratevi. Avanti. Comandi. Avanzate. Comandi. Andiamo. Ordini. Forza, forza, forza. Avanzate.
Touch tips, touch tips.
Ordini. Pronto. Sì, signore. Pronto all'azione. Pronto, signore. Comandi.
Oh my god, these guys don't even have
Pronto all'azione.
motorized support lines. That's a shame.
Attento. Pronto all'azione. Formazione. Pronto, signore. Pronto, signore.
I have no idea how many troops that was, but
Formazione.
that has pretty much collapsed the southern front.
Avanzate. Comandi. Pronto. Pronto all'azione. Formazione. Ritiratevi. Avanzate.
So we've pushed to collapse here, but the Germans are then have pushed on the right, or just abandoned the right hand side, so it's a bit of a sort of a mixed bag, really. I mean, you haven't died, but
Sì, signore.
it's just a bit frustrating that you take all that territory and the Germans just go, well, GG. Thanks for all your help, buddy.
Pronto all'azione. Li respingiamo, signore. Formazione.
Like, we're going to lose Stalingrad again.
Attento. Sì, signore.
I suppose it's realistic to have quite a fluid front line now. Okay, that supply hub, if we attach this to our rail line system, like so. Hopefully it'll be enough to keep these guys supplied.
Pronto, signore.
That is a lot of divisions. I mean, I've seen bigger, but it's not to be sniffed at.
Attento. Ordini. Sì, signore. Pronto all'azione. Avanzate.
Still, I don't think it's enough to keep the Germans afloat.
Ordini. Prendete la mira.
How bad is resistance here? 46, okay. Greece. Our military governor. And waste all my equipment.
Avanzate.
Another naval invasion, let's counter that.
Sì, signore. Formazione. Avanzate. Ordini. Avanzate.
That's a lot of troops they're throwing out over there. Because if they land, it's ogre. Like, I have a very limited time frame to push them back off, and if I don't push them back off,
Pronto all'azione.
then, well,
Avanzate.
yeah, hopefully the Germans will be, and the Romanians, if I give them some territory, will be able to use what I've given them. So I'm going to give the Romanians some territory as well, because the AI is a bit like, they won't go anywhere unless they've got a region of control.
Vi respingiamo, signore.
I think right now it's the German equipment. The German equipment is in a really bad state. I just don't have enough equipment, but neither do I, so I can't really help them. I think my next breakthrough will have to be Tambov, and taking Tambov to hopefully get around to Lupetsk, and then potentially it's going to be a big encirclement at Kursk, I think, with Kursk being the left-hand pocket.
Formazione.
So where is the objectives again? Here. So I need to break along this route and then get over to the next side.
Avanzate. Formazione. Formazione.
You're untrained, but you'll do. Let's send yourself over here.
Avanzate.
And the supply is bad along this route. No, I don't, because I just ran out of I had other research priorities, unfortunately, but if I could, of course I would use it, which I may do now. Okay, now we have a problem because they've declared war on Vichy, so now I've got to extend my garrisons all along here. To protect Vichy from itself. I should do it. Give me a second. Let me go down to maintenance companies. Okay, I wasn't too bad in naval invasion.
Sì, signore.
So here's the Tambov push, 3rd of October. Let's give it a go. I need to secure this end of the river before I keep pushing.
Avanzate.
Counterattack at Stalingrad. Did I get my new fighters yet? My new bombers? I did. Okay. Where's my new CAS? Oh, I got the same CAS. Okay, I guess I didn't get new CAS. Sure I got new CAS. No.
Comandi. Avanzate. Sì, signore.
I've got to push up Tambov, boys. Push up Tambov.
Attacco. Continuate l'attacco. Arretrate. Non fermatevi.
Yeah, I'm not breaking through there.
Comandi. Avanzate.
Maybe I did. I need to get to there
Comandi. Sì, signore.
before they contain me.
Pronto, signore. Ordini. Pronto all'azione. Andiamo. Ritirata.
The thrust is getting too narrow.
Pronto, signore. Ordini. Continuate l'attacco. Pronto, signore.
This was a really bad breakthrough. This was not the blitzkrieg of earlier.
Sì, signore. Attento. Attento.
I mean, we made it, but we haven't secured the rail lines yet. It is October and the mud has come in, but this was not the blitzkrieg of October. Of Stalingrad.
Ordini. Pronto. Avanzate. Avanzate.
There, we just have to hold on. Artillery is now becoming a deficit, so we need to sort out artillery, which is to be expected, if I'm honest with you.
Pronto, signore.
Yeah, I see it. So my initial plan was to break through here, then secure here, and then take Kursk. But it looks like they've already taken Kharkov. Yes, I initially I had big plans, but actually this pocket will suffice. Yeah, the Vonez is where I need to go. If I can
Pronto, signore.
secure the rail line, that is. Because they are really throwing everything they've got at me.
Avanzate. Continuate l'attacco. Sì, signore. Prendete la mira.
I have to build a new rail line. Build.
Andiamo. Mantenete le distanze. Pronto.
They're throwing everything they've got at us. What was this rail line anyway? Okay, that's a new one. It's an airfield. Let's build another airfield over here. This is a bird. This is a naughty breakthrough. If I can, I'd like to produce more infantry as well, but I just don't think I can.
Comandi.
I'm going to reduce the garrisons on parts of Italy. I've got most of Italy. Worst case scenario, I can resort to using the navy.
Comandi.
Hmm. You're right. I should withdraw from the pocket. I need to withdraw from the pocket.
Pronto, signore. Avanzate. Continuate l'attacco. Avanzate. Avanzate. Attento. Pronto. Ordini. Avanzate. Avanzate. Attento. Avanzate.
Punch and counter punch, that's all that was. How is this? How is this going? How is this going? Not bad, not bad. Workable, workable, workable. How's resistance here? 30. 30, 40. Yeah, it's fine. I can live with that sort of resistance.
Attento. Attento. Avanzate. Avanzate.
Did we still secure Tambov in the end? No, we got pushed all the way back. They counterattacked, but we countered their counterattack, so altogether not too bad. I should upgrade my next tank.
Formazione.
Well, with Stalingrad once again secured, I can now withdraw from there. And try again. So the new pocket has developed. So initially it was going to be some grand offensive that failed dismally. So the new pocket appears to be around the Tambov-Vorensk pocket. So if I can get through Tambov and then link up to, say, Lipetsk, then I will arguably just collapse the entire front again. Of course, the units are getting thinner, so that's a good indicator to me that the Soviets are getting weaker.
Attento.
Fall back line. Fall back line!
Pronto. Avanzate.
But this needs to take priority because this is just not being supplied. Take a couple of air wings.
Pronto, signore.
Wow, look at that counterattack. Well done, you.
Ripiegate. Avanzate.
I mean, wow, they're pretty much almost like Warsaw on the left, so I don't know how to salvage a German army.
Attento. Pronto, signore. Li respingiamo, signore. Comandi. Avanti. Formazione. Ordini. Formazione. Andiamo. Pronto. Ordini.
Alright, we're going to limit our offensives to Venensk.
Pronto all'azione. Comandi. Pronto all'azione. Avanzate. Avanti. Sì, signore. Pronto all'azione.
Because I'm pushing westwards, I'm getting pushing back into higher sort of supply areas, which I'm quite happy with, if I'm honest with you.
Spingiamo, signore. Ripiegate.
As a matter of encirclement, they've retreated mostly in good order.
Attento. Pronto. Avanzate. 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 Sì, signore.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I'll take your trucks or whatever that is. I need support equipment.
Sì, signore. Avanzate. Pronto all'azione. Avanzate. Attento.
I think the only reason why the Germans are still alive is because D-Day has not occurred yet. I suspect this is the reason why they've got no equipment as well, because they're still in North Africa, they're committing most of their forces. Should we hold Poland, my fear? No. North Africa is a greater prize. I miss not having to repair stuff and build railways. Those are the good old days. So it's January 1943. We've pushed back, I wouldn't say encircled, we pushed back the Soviets at the Tambov-Varennes pocket. And we are somewhat close to Moscow. You see here now that actually the Soviets are leaving their troops undefended, so it may be an idea now at this stage to commit our forces into sort of a punch through towards Moscow.
Attento.
But I don't want to do it on the Romanian territory. I want to do it on my own territory.
Comandi.
Build up the battle plan. It's probably going to be the best we're going to get it. I wonder if I can put down any more air. No, we're so stretched on airfields. Dump some gas. And do we have any more transport planes? Dump some transport planes. We've got no fuel here, we may as well push. It's not worth pushing. We should just build up. This is silly. Don't push. I mean, I'll probably be able to break a lot of these places, but it's not worth the risk. We'll just connect this supply up as well, and we should be good. Yeah, we've got another supply hub there, so let's upgrade the supply here as well. Wait until it stops snowing. I need more artillery pieces. Less air. I wonder how the air is like on the left. Okay, it is getting progressively worse. That's only a little bit, but when they actually do D-Day, it will get worse. Okay, our resources are good, equipment is good. This will be fixed in exactly 26 days. To push to Moscow to save the Western Front, this will hopefully cut off most of the Soviet supplies and force it to go north. That means, of course, they'll have to go this way, and I don't think their rail lines are very good. Is it still snowing? Yeah, it's still snowing. So a somewhat successful foul blow, I suppose. I didn't even have mobile warfare when I was going that fast, bruh. Have I finished researching maintenance companies yet? No. And light tank chassis, which means we can build our new L6. Automatic cannons are so cheap though. Have a radio. Have some sloped armor. Crack out that engine. 5, 6, that's fine. The L8 this time. Come on, weather. Improve, improve, improve. Yeah. I think I'm just going to go for it, you know. It's March time. The Germans are somewhat counter-attacking along Warsaw. I think we go for it. I don't think we'll get the blitzkrieg we want, but I believe. So much air supply. Okay. I wonder how much my air supply is actually doing. I think I'm just going to go for it. I mean, it's starting to dissolve here. It is starting to dissolve here. I think we just go for it now. I was just hoping to go and get some more, what do you call it?
Attento.
More speed.
Avanzate. Avanzate. Pronto, signore. Avanzate. Comandi. Comandi. Pronto, signore.
My infantry's lagging behind.
Avanzate. Sì, signore. Comandi. Pronto all'azione. Ordini. Continuate l'attacco. Avanzate. Avanzate.
Come on.
Formazione.
So close.
Attento.
No, don't stop.
Avanzate. Avanzate. Avanzate.
Blocked.
Attento.
Locked outside the gates of Moscow.
Avanzate. Pronto all'azione. Formazione. Attento. Ordini. Pronto all'azione. Pronto. Ordini. Pronto. Pronto, signore. Avanzate. Ordini. Avanzate. Ordini. Pronto all'azione.
Where is the artillery? The artillery is too slow because it's not summer. The paratroopers couldn't keep up.
Avanzate. Comandi. Arretrate. Pronto all'azione. Pronto all'azione. Avanzate.
Moscow's taken, boys. Oof. Pain in the arse, that. That means we can finally finish off on the left. Let's go for it. I think there's not a lot of troops left on the Soviet line. I think this like battle plan is now.
Prendete la mira. Ritiratevi.
Encirclement,
Forza, forza,
overrun.
forza.
So the Soviets still need to lose Leningrad. And then of course we have to take a couple of territories in the Eastern Front as well. But once they lose the big ones on Leningrad and so on, it pretty much becomes a job done. There's nothing left to do.
Avanzate! Pronto! Pronto all'azione! Pronto! Avanzate! Formazione! Sì, signore! Attento! Formazione!
And because I've got so many transport planes at this stage, I don't think I'm going to have any sort of problems keeping my troops supplied anymore. Especially in this weather. This weather, no air issues, nothing like that.
Attento! Ordini! Pronto! Pronto, signore! Li respingiamo, signore!
It's desperately trying to stop me, but I'm not going to let you.
Formazione! Attento! Formazione! Pronto, signore! Sì, signore!
And that, I think, is what's left of the Soviet army. Unless they've got something, some other troops hidden away. I mean, they haven't finished off the encirclement yet, but I'm pretty sure I can almost finish them off.
Fuoco nemico!
Yeah, Riga's probably where I should be pushing, not trying to close the pocket too badly.
Comandi!
Blue reason failed dismally. This has failed dismally. Keep pushing.
Pronto all'azione! Formazione!
Come on, paratroopers! You've done so well so far.
Li respingiamo, signore!
My Italian Fallschirmjäger. Look at that. There we are. That's the end of the Western Front. And everything else is just one tile width now. Probably at this stage, let's let the game play itself. I think it'll end once the Soviets have been capitulated. Break. Pretty sure I did this more or less single-handed. Yeah, I just basically line filled. I lost some motorized because of this, though. It's about time to run out of motorized. Let's take a look at how many casualties the enemy has taken from this. Let's take a look at captured equipment compared to mine. So lost in combat 33,910, 80,000 enemy combat losses. Of course, that's covering the, I think, the current operation. 300 tanks, 76,000 bits of equipment.
Forza, forza!
And that's the end of Minsk.
Pronto, signore. Formazione.
So I think it's just a case of taking Leningrad. And it's expanding out. However, I am running out of trucks now.
Comandi.
There's no real resistance. Once it gets like one unit per tile, it's pretty much over for the Soviets. I was going to switch to aggressive and just let them do their thing. Oh yeah, let's give these guys the thing. Maintenance companies. Oh yeah, the Germans have took it now. Okay, that's fine.
Comandi.
I mean, switching these paratroopers to land-based infantry was ridiculously good. Take a look at casualties. 1.4 million caused by the Italians. Good, good.
Pronto all'azione. Avanzate! Avanzate! Avanzate!
I did not. I did not do any atomic research. So I generally only play into the fall of the Soviets because afterwards it becomes a bit of a grind. Because again, really, if the Germans had beat the Soviets, then it would pretty much been just to race a nuclear bomb at that stage.
Andiamo!
Or the war. Really fun. That's why I like playing as Italy, because you're big enough to have an impact, but not too small as to not be able to do anything.
Pronto! Attento!
Okay, we're done here. Done there, done there.
Avanzate!
Where's the next capture points? Over here. How is it? Not bad. Just a small invasion. Just a small invasion.
Pronto, signore. Comandi. Pronto.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Colazione.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because you've got to get after a certain stage, the AI just ends up with too many units, and it ends up becoming a supply org wall. And that's the thing what puts me off sort of going to war in the USA. Or, I mean, I can just about stomach invading the United Kingdom, but it's so easy to do that it just becomes unbearable. Of course, you can play this to the very end, but I think this game just ends up slowly breaking past, really past 1945, 1940, well, really 1944 on single player.
Formazione.
And plus, I need to go have dinner. Yeah, there's no resistance anymore. No resistance. Like, yeah.
Pronto. Pronto.
I wonder how many airfields this has. Yes. How big is it? 200, not really that big. We'll upgrade it anyway. And that, I think, is the fall of the Soviets. Yeah, they only had, what, 5k guns? Of course, it's split around everyone, but yeah, there wasn't much left of the Soviet Union after that, and so there was a couple of encirclements. Really fun game. I really like playing as Italy because you've got the industry to be versatile, but you don't have to go through too much hassle. I mean, I don't want any of this, so I'm just going to click done. Of course, there are limitations because, of course, you do need to build an air force. Because Germany won't build one. And so you are going to have to build an air force. And, of course, you won't be able to build the big, massive tanks or the big, massive massive units because you have to use an anti-D-Day wall. Which, of course, I've had to do, otherwise the Americans would have effectively just landed and wiped us out. If we just go to fog of war, you see we've got a lot of troops just waiting. But again, not a lot, actually. Not a lot, actually. I wonder if they've got them all over here. No, not a lot of troops there either. I don't know where the Americans are, or where their armor is. Oh, they're down here. Okay. This is where the Americans are, pushing back the Germans in the south. Which they've been doing gradually, but the Germans actually did a pretty good job holding for as long as they did, so I can't complain. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Italy gives you so much versatility in single player. But it is the single player, you are limited as Italy because the German AI can sometimes be very good and very bad. So very bad as in it can't take Germany, well, it can't take France, and so you need to come in to save it, or it won't D-Day wall, and so you have to D-Day wall. Like I've got almost 100 divisions, 120, 134 divisions just garrisoning for Germany and myself, which is pretty bleh. And of course, in multiplayer, you wouldn't have that fun because you're just a garrison, North African, a garrison boy, so you're just sort of a not. It's not a very fun nation to play as in multiplayer, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every bit. So if we take a look at this bad boy, here's the divisions. So initially these were just your normal paratroopers without artillery, but of course once they had completed their purpose as in paradropping, they eventually became my mainland infantry and punch-through force. See, they've got 71 org, so they'll just out-survive any bit of combat. Soft attack at this stage is pretty meh, but because they're so well orged, they'll hold out for quite a long time. With 74 breakthrough, which is tolerable. But of course, nothing to do with, they can't do anything against tanks, and they're very slow. So this was a pretty mediocre unit that was saved by its organization, and of course, when compared with the Soviet units, could just demolish them because the Soviet units are so poor. And then of course, for our main breakthrough divisions, we had our 3 light tanks, basically 6 production cost, your cheapest units, with a speed of 12 kilometers, with all the speed buffs, like 10%, it's probably like 14-15 kilometers. These boys are fast. I don't know if the speed buffs are taken into account in the division designer, but we're talking when they're fully supplied and in good ground, encircling everything sort of speed. Of course, they've got no piercing, they've got okay soft attack, and they have okay defense and okay breakthrough. This is an infantry killer with some hardness. It's not going to fight any tanks. It's not going to break through org walls. It's effectively your overrun device that can survive in some combat. Again, would not recommend for multiplayer. There are better builds and better ways to equip your units, either going full motorized artillery or full motorized anti-tank, and completely scrapping the armor. So if we scrap the armor now, as I'll show you, and instead put motorized artillery, 2 motorized artilleries, we only lose 11 hard attack, 37 breakthrough, and 5 piercing, which we weren't going to pierce anyway. So really, you could get away with just just binning the tanks full stop, but of course you do lose the hardness. Whereas if we go back to our tanks, light tank, we go a bit higher on the hardness. Of course you could go and start doing mechanized instead and not do the motorized, but it's harder to get the speed up, and a lot of tanks have a lot of hard attack, which may smash you up if you're not lucky. So really, this is a unit to hide behind better units or fight on weaker fronts, get that rapid encirclement, extend that line, and exploit. This is an exploitation unit, which unfortunately, if other players don't have the ability to exploit or can't break through and give you that exploitation or those overruns, it's going to be a pretty useless weapon. Yeah, you need a breakthrough to really see this shine. However, it is on the cheap. It's not a very expensive one compared to other tank divisions, and it does the job. Especially if you have to become the air guy, like I had 15 on fighters, 5 on close air support, so 20, 23, 23 factories on air. Now, of course, it would be larger in a lot of multiplayer games, and you would just have to scrap your tanks and motorize and so on, but you will spend a lot on air assets. And of course, this was before I did some shuffling. I probably even had even more than that, maybe 30 factories on air. And of course, in multiplayer games, they can go up to like 60 to 100 factories if people really are good at their micro and that. So this is not going to be an optimum build. The optimum build, of course, is good infantry to hold and garbage infantry garrison, then do navy and naval bombers. But it's not fun. Whereas, of course, in single player, this is fun. Like, I had fun breaking through, doing those encirclements, doing my invasion of the south. Yeah, it's a fun nation, but it is not fun for Stalker multiplayer. It's just effectively the UK, but for the Axis. Loads of garbage infantry for garrisons, build a navy, build some air. That's basically that. You could put this up there and it would still have to perform the same role, apart from the fact you've got to get the Mediterranean, whereas these guys have got to defend the Mediterranean. So, it swings and roundabouts. Altogether, enjoyed the game very much, but we're going to leave Italy now. This was, of course, pre-DLC Italy. We'll see when the DLC comes out, the new Italy, and whether or not it's good. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, it is a good DLC. But if it's not, then, well, it'll give me something to meme on. And, well, at least it'll give me some content. I mean, there's only so much multiplayer I can play. Well, only so much of the old games I can play before I get bored. And I'm not playing garbage games for the sake of garbage games. I haven't got enough money for that sort of thing. Anyway, thank you all for watching, boys and girls. Let's just take a look at our air before we finish to see how much fighters and air we had. Wonder if I can just check up here. Yeah, I can. So we had 1,800 CAS, 1,035 fighters. I've got more than that in stockpile. Yeah, I've got 4K fighters in stockpile, 499 close air support in stockpile, 700 naval bombers in stockpile. I got a lot of stuff, a lot of air, of course, to support the Germans. And if I look at my extracted rubber, I am crapping out 120 rubber. I am the rubber boy, but no one's buying it all, so, you know. And of course we've had to buy a lot of oil. But with that, we are done. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later, hopefully for the new release of the new DLC. Adieu!